First things first, the rules. Nuzlocke rules, which means we're only allowed to catch the first Pokemon encountered in any new areas. If a Pokemon faints, it's dead. First encounters only on new routes, and you have to nickname your Pokemon to get more attached. No items in battle, only held items. Speed up is allowed, but we pretty much only use this for grinding and slow dialogue. And we have to play the game on set mode. My name is Kamijo, let's do this. I name myself Kamiho, because I'm hilarious and you should laugh at my... So the starter we picked doesn't actually matter, so obviously I picked the best one, Torchic. Here's the first battle against Zigzagoon. Our Torchic is now a Diglett, so we easily defeat the Zigzagoon. We named Torchic Academy. Alright, first battle against May, and we get some horrible luck as Academy is a Surskit, only knowing Bubble, which is resisted by Mudkip, and her tackles absolutely crushed me. So, there goes attempt 1. Luckily on attempt 2, Academy was a Farfetch'd, with Peck giving us an early game flying stab move, so May was an easy second try. On Route 101, we catch a Wurmple, who I promptly named Arctic, and then on Room 103, we catch a Poochyena we named Cloyster, both named after viewers on my livestream. Later, I also grabbed another Poochyena in Petalburg Forest named Lemmy, and I grabbed my last Pokemon on Route 116, which was a Whismur named Punta. So we need to talk about the randomizer for a second. All of my Pokemon are randomized at the start of the battle, meaning I have no idea what I'm going into battle with. Maybe I'll have a Metapod, maybe I'll have a Kyogre. This makes planning for battles impossible and means we also can never use TMs. For sake of time, I'm also only covering major battles. Anyways, enough complaining. Roxanne is our first major hurdle, and we luck out as Arctic is a Jirachi with Confusion. Jirachi is a dual Steel and Psychic type with over 600 base stat points. Needless to say, because we resist all of her moves and have incredible stats on top of this, Roxanne was a cakewalk. We pretty much used Confusion on her entire team and used Wish to maintain Jirachi's health. This was an unexpected but welcome, super easy first gym. Next up is Gym Leader Brawly. Brawly begins the fight with a Machop, and we send out Zoom the Staryu. I use 2 water guns and barely bring the Machop to half health as he takes half our health in retaliation. I send out Arctic the Mantine as he's part flying type, resisting fighting moves, which ends up crushing both the Meditite and the Machop using just Bubble Beam. But last up was his ace Makuhita. Luckily we have a Mr. Mime with Confusion that critically hits, getting us our second gym badge with a one-shot. Here's a quick look at our team before we go into the normally hardest rival battle. May starts with a Lombre, and we have Zoom the Elekid. I checked the party and see we got pretty lucky as Academy is his Zapdos. Academy easily takes down Lombre with Peck and Slugmanuts with Thundershock, but when Marshtomp comes out, we switch to Hush the Gloom, who absorbs to easily win one of the harder battles in the game. Next up is Wally, but he only has a Ralt, so Lemmy pretty easily takes it down with a Razor Leaf and Gust combo. Next up is a normally pretty rough fight, Watson. We switch to Cloyster the ground type to easily overpower Electrike and Voltorb with Rock Tomb, then switch for Numel to deal with Magneton and Manectric using Magnitudes. Honestly, this battle was a pretty easy first try, but if things had gone differently, I could have easily lost the challenge here. Side note, Gen 5 has incredible music, but on our way to Fall Arbor Town, we catch a Spinda we named Fergie. Time to deal with Team Magma Chump Maxie as he starts with a Mightyena, leading us to switch for Zoom the Illumise to use Silver Winds, but we get hit with 2 sand attacks, screwing our accuracy. Eventually we switch for Shockwaves to deal with this. We swap in for Arctic the Omastar to deal with Camerupt with a single water gun one-shot, and to deal with Zubat using Rock Tomb. Pretty easy overall. Flannery time. She starts with Numel, and Arctic the Go Back crits a wing attack for a one-shot. Next up is Slugmanuts, who takes a wing attack and sets up a Sunny Day. She wastes a Hyper Potion, so 2 more wing attacks finish it off. Camerupt is next, and wing attack doesn't do great damage. She hits a weak tackle, and then she hits an incredibly powered overheat, killing Arctic. We sent in Zoom the Xatu to wear down Camerupt with some Nightshades, coincidentally wasting another Hyper Potion in the process, but after taking down the Camerupt, her strongest Pokemon Torkoal comes in, killing Academy with an overheat. Hope isn't lost yet though. Cloyster the Craydilly comes out to avenge his fallen comrades, and eventually takes out the Torkoal with Rock Slides, getting us our win. Enough melancholy garbage, it's time to fight our stereotypical working father! So Norman begins the fight with Spinda, and we have Cloyster the Umbreon, who we quickly swap out for Zoom the Hypno, who we try to stack like a fortress using barriers. Unfortunately, we land a few decently powered confusions, but get hit with Teeter Dance confusing us as we take gradual damage. Norman did waste a hyper potion though. Eventually, Hypno takes Spinno down. Vigoroth is out and uses Feint Attack despite having little special attack, but makes my barriers useless. Confusion doesn't do much, so I bring Umbreon back out to use Confuse Ray and waste a turn. I switch to Wise to double kick the Vigoroth into Oblivion. Linoon comes out and destroys Wise with a critical slash, leaving us at 4 HP, but we poison him with Poison Point. But we hardly do any damage with double kick. I opt in for Lemmy the Corsola to resist Linoon's slash and finish it off with Bubble Beam. Lastly is Norman's ace, Slacking, who yawns, making my barrier useless again. Luckily, we've got Drax the Sleekoon to whittle Slacking down with Bubble Beam, but this takes forever switching between Corsola and Drax. Man, this fight was rough. As we head towards the 6th gym, I stop on Route 118 to catch an Electrike. We name Electrike a star, because we really need one. Future Kamijo here. There are a few Pokemon I grabbed from various routes that I didn't bother showing you since they're randomized anyways. If you see new names on the team, that's why. Enjoy the video! The Team Aqua admin at the Weather Institute is always a complete cakewalk. Lemmy the Tangela easily Mega Drains Carvana, takes an Intimidate from Mightyena, but then we send in Drax, who easily overpowers the Mightyena with an Oko Overheats. We are then forced a Cast Form, who I forgot to nickname. Final May fight of the game, since we're not going to bother with the other one. There isn't really too much to say about this fight. Zoom the Alakazam carried pretty hard using Calm Minds and Shockwaves, dealing with Lombre and Slugma Nuts. But after that, it was Marshtomp, who we switch into Zoom the Starmie 4 to deal with a single Bubble Beam that was powered by the rain. As I was clearing out the trainers towards Lily Cove City, a double battle resulted in Cloyster's untimely death from a Thunder from a Manectric. We finished the battle with no more casualties, but man, this is really starting to get rough. Alright, it's time for Winona. Drax the Blissey is our first Pokemon, who is going to be useless for this battle, but we have a Raikou and an Aerodactyl, so this should be pretty easy. Lemmy the Raikou easily deals with Swablu and gets Winona to waste her first Hyper Potion. Next is her Altaria, but she greedily goes for 2 Dragon Dances, letting Aerodactyl 2-shot with its Ancient Power. Next is Pelipper, who stalls my remaining Ancient Powers, but we do enough damage that Wise can finish the job with a Facade. After finishing off the Pelipper, Winona eventually sends in her Tropius, which Wise the Pidgeotto was pretty easily able to deal with using 2 Wing Attacks. Winona's not a super great trainer, to be honest. Finally is her Skarmory, so we switch back in for Lemmy the Raikou to easily deal with this with Thundershock, since Skarmory has weak special defense. Pretty easy overall. Okay, full disclosure, the final Maxie fight proved way more challenging than I initially thought it would be. A really stupid judgment call on my part after using Flamethrower and getting destroyed by Confusion led to Drax the Charmeleon getting killed. I wasn't overly attached to him, but that was still pretty unfortunate. Zoom the Swalot pretty easily finishes off Mightyena, and Maxie brings out Camerupt, so we switch in Sax the Lugia to Oko with Surf. This demonstration of Cast Form just absolutely demolishing this Crobat is a demonstration of why I don't like to use Legendaries. Maxie was way too easy. Time for the terrible twins. Claydol and Xatu are out, and we've got Starmie and Ampharos. Xatu immediately starts setting up Calm Minds, while Earthquake spams come from Claydol. Big damage is done to Cast Form, and Psychic takes out Cast Form. Next out is Wise the Rayquaza, who uses Ancient Power on Xatu to take it out, and Astar does a pretty good amount of damage with Bubble Beam on Solrock. They bring out Lunatone next, and we go for Wise to finish off Solrock with Crunch, with a switch in for Sax the Butterfree. Lunatone uses Calm Minds, and the battle takes a really interesting turn. Wise gets off a good Crunch, but takes a Psychic that lowers its special defense. We use Fly and Bubble Beam to do chip damage on Lunatone. When we come down, Fly does just enough to take out Lunatone without losing any other members. Really cool strategy. I want to go on record here and say that the evil bosses in this game really suck. This battle with Archie was a complete breeze. I could go blow for blow on this, but honestly, the footage kinda speaks for itself. Man's a pushover and deals no damage, so this battle was super easy. Gotta say, of all the battles so far, this next one with Juan could be really brutal. Luck matters so much in this battle due to Juan's type balance. Wise is our start, and we have a Sudowoodo, forcing us to swap for Punta the Electrode to completely overpower the Love Disc, wasting one of Juan's potions in the process. Lemmy takes out Whiscash with a Magical Leaf, which is pretty easy considering it was 4 times effective. Celio is dealt with easily with Sleep Powder and 2 Magical Leaves. Kingdra, on the other hand, is scary. Double Team to boost his accuracy and Rest to constantly heal. Sax hits 2 Fake Tears to ruin Kingdra's fence before using Rest and switching back to Punta. Kingdra's evasiveness is so high that we miss often, but eventually Spark paralyzes Kingdra and we have the special defense drop give us enough power to win. Finally is Crawdon. Nothing really compared to the Demon Kingdra, so yeah. Juan fights like a jerk, and his type balance made this super hard. Our final catch of the game is a Hariyama in Victory Road we tried to name Last Chance, but is now named Last Chank. Let's talk about the last bit of the game. I haven't shown much grinding, but most of it was done via daycare. For the final bit though, I plan on capping out my level at 56 and then just going straight for the Elite Four. If I win, I'll get to level 60 and then go for Steven. Grinding in this patch is actually really nice. Your power points reset every battle, so you only have to watch health for Pokemon fainting. Also, I want to apologize if anyone is bothered that I didn't catch a Pokemon every route, nor felt the need to show every Pokemon obtained. Yeah, I could do that, but I personally don't feel that very entertaining to watch. Let me know your opinion in the comments if you agree or disagree, and I'll reevaluate. I didn't intend to battle Wally this soon, but I accidentally triggered the battle. His Altaria is a problem as I go for Claydol for Brute Force. Ancient Power barely does any damage as he uses a full restore, and I switch in Wise, who though resisting Aerial Ace takes a crap ton of damage and misses Thunder. We swap again for Zoom to overpower with Sparks as he sends out Delcatty, who uses a weak feint attack and then goes down to Spark. Next is Magneton, and we switch to a Star who deals with it with weak fire spins and then takes incredible damage from Thunderbolts. We switch back to Punta and eventually take down the Magneton with Rock Smash. Wally's Roselia is out, but Sax the Butterfree makes sure to work with it with 2 Gus. Finally is Gardevoir. As Gardevoir begins stacking Calm Minds, I decide to pack Punta using Self-Destruct. Thank you for your noble sacrifice, Punta. You might be missed. Alright, I cap out my level at 56 and head into the Elite Four. Not knowing my Pokemon's moves has made this run difficult, but we're about to see if our luck can match up to the Elite Four. Let me know in the comments if you think we're going to win or lose. Let's crush this. We're at the beginning of the end. First is Dark Trainer Sydney, who starts with Mightyena, and we've got Last Chance the Tangela. I swap for Wailord, who gets hit with a weak critical Double Edge, but knocks Mightyena out in retaliation with a Water Spout. Next is Cacturn, so we swap to Sax the Dragonite, who luckily knows Dragon Dance. We get hit with 2 Cotton Spores, destroying our speed, but get 2 Dragon Dances, increasing our attack and negating 1 Cotton Spore. Cacturn is an easy wing attack. Next is Absol, but he's also just an easy wing attack. Shiftry is next though, and though I know wing attack is effective, he hits Swagger, which drops my heart, but we hit the wing attack and knock him out regardless. I switch out Dragonite to avoid risking killing myself, as Last Chance comes in to finish off the Crawdon with a few Mega Drains. Ghost Elite Four Phoebe is next, and her Dusclops are major trouble. None of my team has any solid dark moves, so I choose to have Last Chance build Swords Dance. This proves to be my downfall, as Phoebe's first Dusclops is meant for stall, as it uses Protect, Confuse Ray, and Curse. Sandtomb has horrible accuracy, and we lose a lot of health. I opt in for Wise, who finishes off the first Dusclops with Hydro Pump. Next is her first Bayonet, but 2 Waterfalls pretty easily take this down, although Wise loses a lot of health. The second Bayonet comes out, and I swap for Lemmy, betting on Bone Meringue. Bone Meringue does a lot of damage as expected, but we're taking an okay amount of damage. We use a Rock Slide and Bone Meringue combo to finally finish off the second Bayonet. Then is her strongest Dusclops, who caused major trouble. Octillery comes out, predicting an Ice Beam, which does little damage. Focus Energy doesn't get us a crit, as Bubble Beam does mediocre damage. I can't keep up with the healing, so I stop for Latias, and for the next 30 turns, I'm gonna skip this recap. We pretty much used Flash to ruin her accuracy, we used Charm to make Shadow Ball weaker, and then we used a crap ton of Psychics and a crap ton of Recovers, because this thing does so much damage, before Zoom was finally able to take down this Dusclops. Last is her Sableye. With no great counter, I send in Wise to use its last Hydro Pump, which crits, taking out Ghost Trainer Phoebe. Holy crap, the battle with Glacia was absolutely nuts. Rayquaza is useless against Ice types, but our salvation was Zoom the Relicanth. We only had 5 Ancient Powers, so I was praying for those boosts. We use some double edges and take out the Celio. Wall Rain is next, and we use Ancient Power getting the boost, which boosts our attack and special defense, most importantly, as we are able to take a Surf and then do incredible damage with our second Ancient Power, taking out the Wall Rain. Next is her first Glalie, which goes down to an Ancient Power, and the second Glalie has the same fate. Finally is her Celio, but we have enough health that we can use double edges to take it out with no real issue. I've got a bad feeling about Drake since we've had no deaths in the Elite Four up until now. First is Shelgon, and I opt in for Muck, seeing that its moveset's pretty good. I use 4 Minimizes, 1 Acid Armor, and 1 Screech to OHKO the Shelgon, hoping to sweep with Muck. Unfortunately, Flygon comes out and hits 2 incredibly powerful Earthquakes, and I miss 2 Screeches. I decide to swap for Wise the Noctowl and use Sky Attack, as we were able to hit 1 Screech, and it deals a pretty good amount of damage. No OHKO though. Items are used by Drake, and I Wise up by using Hypnosis and Dream Meter to defeat Flygon while regaining all of Wise's health. Salamence is next, and here's where my grand strategy begins. Wise puts Salamence to sleep, and then I swap to a star to use Transform. Now we have a level 57 Salamence and proceed to defeat Drake's Salamence and Altaria using Dragon Claw and Rock Slide. God, Salamence is a really strong Pokemon, and it's just a really cool way to get one on the team. Finally is his Kingdra, and because I worry about Ice Beam, I swap to Wise, who is a special defense tank. Drake goes for 3 Dragon Dances instead, as I put Kingdra to sleep and Sky Attack it for an okay amount of damage. Finally, I swap in a star to use Transform because Transform copies stat changes. Body Slam easily finishes this off. Finally, Pokemon Champion Wallace. First matchup is Lashchank the Whiscash vs Wailord. I go for Earthquakes in fear of Water Spout, as Water Spout does more damage the higher your HP is. After a few Earthquakes, Lashchank comes out on top. Next is Ludicolo, so I swap for Lemmy the Bug and Flying type. Wallace sets up a double team, and I get to use a move I never really purposely used before, Mind Reader. Because of Mind Reader, Double Team is essentially ineffective, allowing us to bypass accuracy changes and easily paralyze Ludicolo, taking it out with Silver Wind. Wallace's ace, Milotic, is out, and he goes for Toxic as I go for Stun Spore. And then I swap for Sax to use Safeguard, preventing Toxic. Then I Brute Force the Milotic with 2 Thunders, taking it out. I swap for Zoom, predicting Earthquake from Gyarados, and set up a Wish. Back into Sax as it goes for a Dragon Dance. I take a Dragon Dance powered Earthquake, and I take it out with a Thunder. Next is Whiscash, and we predict another Earthquake, so we're back into Zoom. He uses an Amnesia, and I swap for Lashchank for a Whiscash versus Whiscash battle. Lashchank goes shot for a while, and we eventually come out on top with Earthquake. Overconfidently keeping Lashchank out, we go for Earthquake, taking out Tentacruel, solidifying ourselves as the new Hoenn champion. Here's the team that did it. They got us this far, and we're going to see if they can take down the final boss of the game, Steven Stone. Here's a look at my team right before we go into the Steven battle. Looking at Steven's team, we see we're dangerously underleveled, so I'm already guessing this is impossible at this level. Also, for anyone curious, this is my Pokedex near the end of the game. Final battle, Steven Stone. Let's do this! So, I get into the battle and have a Plusle, which gives me hope that I can at least take down one of his Pokemon. That was short-lived though, as he swaps in for Claydol, and I realize that there's not much I can do with the team I have. Well, I do my best, but we really can't do much damage, and I kind of start sacrificing Pokemon left and right just to take down Claydol. Considering the level difference and type disadvantage, we managed to take down 2 of Steven's Pokemon. Skarmory would have fainted too, but we just couldn't get it before he swapped it out. Anyways, I'm pleased all things considered. If I'd leveled to around 70 to 75, we might have stood a chance, especially with a better team. Well, that's it! This marks the first video I've ever recorded, edited, and published, and to be honest, it was a lot of fun. This run should have ended at so many points, but I underestimated my luck as it carried me through to Steven. That being said, this video reinforces the idea that really any Pokemon is usable so long as you have a strategy. I do plan to do more videos down the line, so if you're interested, drop me a comment and give me something to think about. Thanks for tuning in today. Until next time, I'm Kami Joe, and I hope you have a great day.